How does vaping affect getting a job in schools and other things? Like, let's say you go and your boss might see you, the boss that you're going to see might see you vaping. How you think that might affect you getting that job?
I don't know for sure if it's even like legal to discriminate on such basis, but I know smoking is kind of the same thing. I think that people, when they see that habit, they're going to kind of assume that it's going to take away from their productivity. You know, that's something that person is going to be chemically addicted to, and it's going to require them to take breaks, to either stop what they're doing. If like, let's say it's a factory, they're going to have to stop what they're doing, leave the facility, to vape and come back. Or even worse, if they had like a tobacco vape-free facility, you know, more often than not, people would never try to smoke in one of those, but vaping, as we well know in the school system, is really prevalent as far as people trying to like do it inside.
In the bathrooms.
Right.
Yeah. 37% of teens vape in the U.S. Does this surprise you?
The number is alarmingly high. Yeah, I mean, again, you know, working in the school system, I'm not oblivious to it. You know what I mean? It's like I think that number would probably surprise people even more if they just happen to have good kids at home and don't know, you know, what goes on in schools. But yeah, I mean, I have a bathroom 20 feet from my door, so yeah, I mean, it's alarming. I'll tell you, athletically, it's alarming. I mean, I can, you know, walk in, I can smell it in locker rooms. You know, it's disheartening. But yeah, I mean, that number is staggering. But yeah, I mean, it's epidemic.
After discovering someone vapes, does your viewpoint on them change?
I'm sorry?
After discovering like someone's vape, does your viewpoint on them change?
Oh, you know, kids do a lot of dumb stuff. You know, no offense, but I mean, I have one of my own. You know, he's a sophomore. He's pretty chronically doing dumb stuff. But I think if I knew that they consistently did, then yes, mine does. You know what I mean? If a kid were to try something once, I mean, it's a bad idea, but it's not going to diminish my opinion of them. Yeah. If I know that they are consistently, especially if they're pursuing athletics, then yeah, I mean, they're making a horrible decision, and it's like really adversely affecting their productivity as an athlete.
All right. Do you ever like have a kid, you think they're vaping, and then all of a sudden they drastically just lose almost all their skill, especially in track, like they just don't have the endurance anymore. They can't run as farther or faster as they used to be able to?
Well, I mean, luckily, just with the kind of kid that we have, I don't really see it. You know, I mean, and if it is happening, I haven't really noticed it. I haven't seen like big diminishing in anyone's performance, but I don't think we really have those kids that are doing it very often. Now, maybe in track and field, you know, I might have a thrower, or maybe a sprinter or something, I don't know, that they could potentially, but I haven't seen it, you know, but we're also a pretty small crew across country, you know, I mean, like my main group of guys, you know, I've got 6 to 7 dudes that are all pretty tight-knit, and they train remarkably hard. You know what I mean? It's like, you really can't, it's a sport where you can't hide. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be a red flag to me immediately if any one of them started to have diminishing performance, you know, and it's very, it's governed by the stopwatch, so it's very black and white. I don't have to like look at them and be like, oh, he's a little winded. Like, it's clear, as he hits his times and not his times. So I'm gonna know pretty well if, like, you know, if something is happening. So I haven't seen it, you know, if they are doing it and they're just not, maybe it's not ill affecting them, you know. Now, in that conversely, you know, when I think that when people train remarkably hard, they can probably overcome some of those things. You know, there's always those people out there. There's a guy at every race that smokes a cigarette and goes out there and just crushes it. You know, there are those anomalies, but the super healthy thing they're doing may kind of balance it out. It's still a terrible idea. Right. You know what I mean? It's like, and I think that people that are moderately athletic, it will destroy their athleticism. There are probably some really elite people that can party or whatever and get by with it. It's still like, it's not helping them. It's definitely hurting them. It's probably hurting them a little less because they are already aerobically fit at such a high level that, you know, their body can probably withstand a little more. But it also, and I don't know if there's scientists, you know, if there's science to back this, but I would think it would make them a little more vulnerable. You know, I think about, like, you know, my son runs for me. You know, like the way his lungs have developed and the way his system is built cardiovascularly, it performs at a remarkably high level. You know what I mean? And I would be scared that the chemical that is in that stuff, whatever chemicals are in it, you know, God knows there's so much crazy stuff in those things, could be really harmful to lungs that are working at that high level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could really be detrimental in the long term. Now, could he supersede that and like just kind of overcome it and still run fast? Maybe. But I would be scared of what kind of damage it's really doing that's unforeseen.
I think that's all the questions.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks
for your
for your
time.
time.
No worries, appreciate it.